Hello, it's Anya from Digital Painterly. I wanted to show you today how to apply the textures into the images. So I created hand painted 1, 2, 3 different textures which you can mix and match and play with. And delicate, old masters, which is a bit more dramatic, it's very rich. And then you have a pure brush strokes which you can add on to those previous ones. So 3 textures, and we're going to apply to this image. We're going to have a go with old masters and then pure brush strokes, so you can see 2 layers how they are added on. So I'm going to use my move tool and drag it into the image. Okay, so now I'm going to press Ctrl T. It's going to be different on the Mac. Control is always Command, so I assume it will be the same. And then twisting it over. When it's nearly here, I'm pressing Shift, and it levels it for me, snaps into place. And I'm just moving it a little bit just over it, okay, and can just stretch tiny bit here and enter. Okay, that's our first one moved over, and let's just move those pure brush strokes as well. You could either image rotation 90 degrees, and then you can take it over and you don't have to do all the Control T. However, we are going to press it anyway and just stretch it tiny bit. And okay, because we need to paint a mask on those layers, we're going to select both of them using Control, press it on both, and then right click of your mouse, and we're going to move them into group from layers. Okay, you can call it whatever, but because we're only doing this, it's fine, just keep it as it is. And that way it created it for us, this group, so we don't have to mask separately both of them. Okay, so before we move on and mask it, we're going to change the mode here into soft light and the other one into soft light. I have to say this is the one I use 99% of the time. I don't think I've ever been using, maybe once, overlay or multiply, but it's going to give you much darker look. You can do that, you can just play a little bit, but soft light always works for me really well. And now it's time to decide what strength you're going to leave it on. It's way too much for me, so I'm going to take it down just a bit so you can still see those lovely brush strokes, but trying to press Ctrl 0 to bring it to the full size image. I love those darker tones here, how it all comes to life. So if I turn it off, that's the image without texture, and that's with. Just gives a little bit extra texture onto the image, bit of a character, I suppose. So let's put that group back on. Make sure you're happy. If you're happy with the how much it is of that, I'm going to turn that opacity down, see what happens. Oh, that's even nicer. So just set it up to your taste, whatever you like. Maybe up a bit. Difficult to make a decision. Select that whole group and then press the Add Layer Mask. A layer mask is one of the best inventions in Photoshop, so select that. Before I start, I'm going to just press D on my keyboard. Okay, so it just sets up those colors to default, so that's pure black and that's pure white. Because maybe before I was doing something, I wasn't painting my textures in Photoshop, but just in case, I like to have them straight and completely white, pure black. So we got that layer mask selected, and now we're going to choose the black one, black brush, nice soft round, hardness to the 0. And what we're gonna do, we're gonna paint over our subject in the areas where we don't want that texture on. So that's pretty easy, doing it here. And make sure that's on 100%, because you're gonna do all that work and you're going to discover, oh, I'm only been working on much less, and you have to do it all over again. This is the tricky bit where you have to be really careful. So make your brush smaller everywhere where it requires precision. Basically make the brush smaller and go over with the better detail. If you're really picky, you could reduce that opacity way down and just brush gently on the edge, just to reduce that contrast, just to trick the eye. Nobody has to know it's not real. Just like in the painting, you're creating illusion all the time, so don't feel bad about creating those effects, adding extra textures or backdrops, whatever. Creativity counts, and the final image. So I'm just going over and over and over that face. It's important not to miss out on anything, because if you have everything beautiful and you've got a little bit of texture left on the skin, that's not gonna good look, I'm afraid. And you're going to have to, not sure what to do, come back to your original image and copy it. It's gonna make it way more complicated. So I'm just going over gently, really good. Okay, everything taken off the face, just going over again. You see, it still is on there. Hair, okay, but I'm not too fast because hair has some texture anyway, and it's not that noticeable like on the skin. Skin is super important to have it smooth. So that's how it looks, and you can see that's pretty neat. Oh, just a little bit here, so be really cautious about those areas. It goes 100%, that's great. Oh, okay, he had a little bit of texture on his face anyway. Beautiful. So I would do exactly the same around. Funny enough, that chair has a painterly texture if you have a look. So I'm not sure if I'll go over the chair, but I'll definitely go over Teddy. It's quite visible. Definitely arms and legs and feet, and being really careful here. So taking my time, but the final image would look really good. I think you can see the difference here and here, and that looks pretty good. So what else could I do? Has that been added on? Oh yes, you can see 2 layers contained in that one. Okay. So what else you could do? You can bring your delicate backdrop into that image. Have I got it on? Drag it into the image on top. Okay, it's hiding underneath here. We're gonna move it up over that group, otherwise the group is hiding it. Take it over, shift to snap it into place. Lovely. Stretch it out, and let's see how that's gonna affect our image. Soft light. Okay, so it's more delicate mottled effect. You might see that working differently on different colors, so it will give you different effect on dark backdrop, it'll give you different effect on a lighter, different on a, like it was a vivid pink. I'm gonna try to take a picture, make a sample so you can see really well what is it working like on different colors. And pure brush, let's move that on here. Whoop. Control 0 again, and that's okay. Upright. Control T just to transform, and enter. And we are putting those two into group from layers. Okay, you've got second group now, and we're going to open that. This one will be into soft light, and the other one will be soft. Oh, have we got that selected? Soft light also. Okay, it's already on. Great. So that's the effect, and again the brush strokes are quite strong. They will be probably less visible in a white backdrop. That's why I give that option, so you can always turn it down, but it's difficult to turn it up when you... Okay, so it's a bit more gentle, and you see that lovely work around darker areas here. And I would do exactly the same. So I'm going to show you. I'm going to move that mask into group 2, and look, voila. So if you're not sure, you can always select that mask that you've been working on and see, because it does take a long time to cut it out with your layer mask tool. So you can just drag it and kind of try it into different option, different texture. I just wanted to show you how much detail it has. It has a different textures. It's got artist canvas, it's got cold pressed paper as well, which I think in this case is going to be for watercolors. So you got that lovely textures, different brush strokes, and it all has been painted from the scratch by me digitally, not in Photoshop, in Corel Painter. And you can see it does give a beautiful effect. All of them been painted from the scratch. This one also has a lovely little artist texture, canvas texture, and pure brush strokes. They also been created from the scratch. So I hope you're gonna have a lot of fun playing with them. I would love to see your examples, how your work would look like, and let me know. You can get those textures in my Etsy shop, Digital Painterly. I also have painted backdrops from scratch, so please take a look at that shop if you like to get some of those. These are sold in a bundle, so you get all 3 of them, and you can play, mix and match and play with them. You can even stack that delicate and old masters together if you want. It will be quite strong effect, but it's an option. Okay, I hope you enjoyed that tutorial, and till next time, bye.